I'm Neil Dixon, and this is Auction News Now. No fewer than 6 separate vintage car auctions were staged this past weekend in and around Monterey, California. The big draw was the prestigious Pebble Beach Prix de Concours competition, where thousands of fans, collectors and buyers come every year to see some of the rarest, most beautiful and most valuable automobiles in the world. Delahaye's, Delages, stunning cars you never heard of, worth sums you cannot fathom. Much of the weekend's action centered on the high-ticket auctions happening around town. Among the standout sales, a beautifully restored 1928 Mercedes Torpedo Roadster, which fetched $3.3 million at Christie's. The next day, an antique Bugatti Racer sold for $2.35 million at Gooding & Company's Big Tent event. Why would someone pay millions of dollars for a 60-year-old car?
People will say, you know, that's insane. These prices are crazy for these cars. And I'll say, well, they are and they aren't. Cars are definitely rolling sculpture. They're even more than that. They're animate objects. They have life. Fire something up like this, it burbles to life. It has a personality. It comes alive.
All told, the weekend's Pebble Beach vintage car auctions netted over $94 million. While demand for collectible cars holds steady, the art market is in a steep decline. This week in Paris, however, the dire news seemed a distant memory as Christie's auctioned the legendary collection of the late designer Yves Saint Laurent and his partner Pierre Berger. Billed as the sale of the century, the auction was held in the glass-domed Grand Palais, where an estimated 30,000 people lined up to view the collection. Surprisingly, a Picasso that had been expected to be the highest seller failed to reach its minimum. But otherwise, the auction was a drumbeat of new world records. Over $46 million for a Matisse oil, $37 million for a Brancusi sculpture, almost $28 million for a Mondrian. Still another world record was the nearly $28 million paid for a snake-embellished armchair by Eileen Gray. Amid all the excitement, there was one note of controversy, as the Chinese government demanded the return of 2 bronzes, looted from Beijing's Imperial Summer Palace in the 19th century. A Chinese telephone bidder won these 2 heads of a rat and a rabbit with a bid of $40 million. Soon afterward, he announced he had no intention of paying, leaving the outcome uncertain. What is certain is that at almost $500 million, this was the top-grossing European auction of all time. Art has risen above the current world crisis, a Christie's spokesman said, like a ship mocking a storm. Another category bucking the storm appears to be celebrity memorabilia. 60 years ago, David Rothman, a Long Island summer neighbor of Albert Einstein, asked him for a simple explanation of his theory of relativity. So Einstein drew his friend a diagram. It was auctioned last night at Christie's in New York. The original price estimate was $18,000 to $25,000. It went for more than $230,000. Coming up tomorrow, results of the high-stakes thoroughbred yearling sales in Keeneland, Kentucky. In London, Christie's is auctioning rare wines. And in Miami, the Treasury Department is selling cigarette speedboats, seized from drug runners. Fabulous boats, with even better stories. I'm Neil Dixon, and that's Auction News Now.